You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. Jeezy.
What it do, what it does, what's happening, man?
Welcome back, sir.
Hey, man, it's like family. We back up in here, you dig?
Absolutely.
Looking like it.
You feeling a little under the weather?
Nah, it's just, you know.
It's
my
the
voice.
weather.
I just left Miami. The weather was fine. Trust me, it was
It's
great.
gonna be like 80 here. It's not supposed to be like that in New York.
Oh, yeah,
right
it was
now.
kind of hot when I got off the plane, but, you know, I brought a few jackets and shit with me.
Now,
Feeling like real.
Let's clear this
festive.
up, Young, because I feel like it got taken out of context. I heard you on a Tax Stone podcast.
Right.
And everybody was giving you flags like, oh, what you mean Donald Trump is like Tupac?
Right.
I understood what you meant.
Right.
Yeah, you said you applauded Donald Trump.
Nah, but see, my first thing is when you start talking about shit like that, because I had a call me. I said, listen, man, did your ignorant ass listen to the whole interview, or
Nope.
you just took?
They heard that
what
little
and that's
snippet.
what I hate about my people, black people. We just take whatever and run with it.
Oh, there's no
It's ignorant.
context to nothing no more.
No.
Yeah, but if you want to ask me that question, then watch the interview. But to clarify what I was saying that he's the hottest person in politics, and had he dropped the album right now, he'd go diamond like Tupac did, because he's the hottest person in what he's doing. Like, he's everywhere. You can't turn on the TV and not see this dude.
Right.
And he really don't give a. You know what I'm saying? So
And you also said he's not
Right.
presidential material. So
But he's
it's
not.
like
Not
no,
at
but I'm
all.
saying it's
Yeah.
not like you were saying, oh, I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump.
You
I
was
mean,
just saying
look.
he'd be the biggest
Yeah.
rapper in the game.
Right, he is though.
If he was,
yeah, no, but even now he still is, and I mean I just sit back and watch it like that's who he is. That show he has, that's what it's about. You know, just and for the Republican Party, they're boring. They're like old people that just count their money.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like he's giving them something they never had. He's giving them excitement.
Right.
He's rebellious, and this man called Hillary Clinton the devil. I wouldn't call my auntie that. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't give a. But I just think it just showed you where we at in this world. It's like in this day and time that's a presidential candidate.
Where
The
you
fact that
standing
we
at
are on-
politically? Because we all know you
I'm gonna
supported
stand
Barack.
over here, man.
Yeah.
I ain't okay. Yeah,
You not voting this year? You going?
Look, man. I if I had to vote, it wouldn't be for him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But you already know what you're dealing with, man. But it's just bad. But it just makes me just see how great Barack Obama was.
Right.
I didn't have to second guess, not because he's black. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a man's man. He's a class act. He's a real guy. You know what I'm saying? He practices real morals, and when you see him, it's always he's not irate. And listen, man, I don't want to be on tour and Donald Trump gets into it with the guy from China. What's his name? They don't take Kim Jong.
Yeah.
He ain't playing. You're
No,
not
he
finna
definitely not
argue
playing
and
over
be.
there.
It's because you got some bread. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go to war because of your ego. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in a country where the racism goes up, because that's what it's gonna really be about. Because once he start, and by the way, I don't feel like any of them are for the people. And my thing is, what I'm saying, it's just like, you can vote if you concerned about your taxes and shit, I mean, I am a taxpayer, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not looking for them to come fix my community.
That's real.
I'm not come fix my neighborhood or
Right.
my city. Like, we got to do that shit ourselves, because, we the leaders, and we got all the resources, and we know all the people for real. And it's like, we got to stop as people, like, sent back just saying, okay, when you get president, going to come fix this. Like, those things that was going on in St. Louis and all this crazy shit that was going on, it wasn't but so much Barack could do, but at least he kept everybody calm.
Right.
You know
That's
what
why I
I'm
said, like
saying?
Jay-Z said, government F government, politic yourself.
Right, yeah,
we
you
gotta
gotta do
empower
it.
ourselves, man.
You got to do it.
The
You gotta do it.
last time you were up here, Jeezy, you were it seems like you had the hard bottoms on. You were pastor. You
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really,
Yeah,
like, you just
I
went to
knew it was gonna be you,
Farrakhan.
though.
It was church in the streets. You was there. It seems like you were ahead
Right.
of your time. Like, we need that album
Yeah,
now.
Hey, but listen, I promise I just told somebody the same thing. But I just think with me, I take it to heart. So everything that I really, like, I'm passionate about, I do it. And my point with that was, I ain't tripping. The money I already made. This is my art. I'm gonna let y'all know how I feel. And niggas was tripping. Like, call me like, yo, you in the hood shooting a video of the pastor suit? Like, what you doing? And they was mad. But I don't think they understood, my position. Like, I'm for real about this, man. I felt like, when I do my shows, it is like church. These people really come to hear what I got to say. So it's like, if I can switch the message, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to switch the message. And I switched the message, And I got locked up for it. You know what I'm saying?
That was the devil testing you, man. That's all. God was just testing you.
You know what I mean? I got locked up for it. So, and it was real. So, I felt like, I made some type of sacrifice. I lost a lot of business situations, a lot of endorsements. I seen a lot of people that I thought was my peers and, you know what I'm saying, really had my back, turned their back on me. I had, friends that I felt like would have rolled for me, and ain't nobody stand up. I was on my own. Farrakhan, he did what he could, to talk me off the ledge because I was going crazy at the time. Like, I was, hot at Barack because he didn't give me no love. You know what I'm saying? I was hot at, people that was around that really didn't, handle their business like they should. And all that just to get an album out. You know what I mean? And I felt like that at the time, the game needed that. But I learned one thing just going through that process. You can't talk at people. You can't talk to them. Or like, you can't feel too preachy. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put the medicine in the candy.
Right. Yeah, you got to kind of slip them one. And I learned that. But I do think, like you said, that this album, Church in the Streets, could have been the album that I put out now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
for the time period.
For the time period.
Going on, right?
But when I really started seeing what was going on, I was like, you know what, man? And my mom always tell me I try to fix every problem. So if you got a problem, try to fix that. You know what I'm saying? If I got a problem, try to fix it. But it was too big of a problem for me to fix. So even going back to what I'm doing now, it's like, let me at least fix the streets. Because I can handle that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing about Church in the Streets. It wasn't like it was preachy. It wasn't like you was on there quoting scripture. Like, it was still church in the streets.
But but the thing about it ain't what they want to hear.
Right.
They want to hear you talk that shit.
That trap on
right. They want to see you.
But you think that's just what they want to hear from you?
Yeah.
Maybe
listen, the thing about it, they put me in a box a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't let them put you in a box.
Exactly. So every now and then I step out of it and look at the box and tell them to bring a bigger box.
Because I actually enjoyed that album.
I like Church in the Streets.
Listen, I loved it, but I saw just being on the road, just a different response with the shows, just the energy. When I do my shows, it's the first 48 crowd. It's the you see on, you know what I'm saying, on A&E. You feel what I'm saying? And they real, and they love you, and they want you to do what you set out to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to, to switch it up. And it's just like, it's another way to do it. So maybe it wasn't the music. So maybe when I get a chance to speak, I just speak my heart.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was in Miami over the weekend, and Church in the Streets love the album. But I'm in the club, and when they started playing
Thug Motivation
Jeezy,
101,
right.
The Recession,
Snowman, Jeezy, right.
I'm the realest.
Right.
I'm like, and then, shout out to Def Jam. They sent your album early,
right?
And I got to hear the new album. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is it.
Right.
I'm like, this is it from the G-Wagon. What's the joint with French Montana?
Going Crazy.
That record is crazy too.
Yeah,
I got that feeling. It got me excited again.
Right. And that's what. And by the way, that's what they want. So what I figured out is let that be the vehicle, and because that's what you want. Like, you can't take that away. I'm a hustler by, I can't switch the product up. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on the block. You selling, you know what I mean? You getting busy, you getting money. Then all of a sudden it's like, nah, we selling socks now. I don't need no socks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I use that as the vehicle. Me as a man, I'm just say what I feel. If you don't like it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is. Nobody do shit to me no way. So that's just how I live. But at the same time, it's my art. And it's like, if I'm an artist and somebody appreciates something, I just can't go all the way so far left that they don't understand the art anymore.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Why'd you decide to make Trapper Dot 3 an album when it's historically been a mixtape?
Hey, man, listen, you asking the wrong question, my guy.
Okay.
The question is, why not, man? Who's better than me at this?
Absolutely.
And it's just like, I'm back in my bag, and I'm back, in my zone. Like, I'm comfortable, you know what I'm saying, with what I do as far as the studio. I don't have to think about this because this is who I am. And it's just like, when it comes to this shit, ain't nobody better. Ain't nobody more authentic. Ain't nobody track record going. Right now, in every penitentiary, or at least half a station in the world, somebody sitting down telling about a story when they was out with me and we was doing get some money. Or, you know what I mean? Or living the life. You know what I mean? Because it really happened. And this is the shit I'm great at. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the LeBron and Kobe James of this. Kobe Bryant of this. And it's like, you're not gonna find nobody else. Just think about, you look at Kobe Bryant's career. He started off probably recreation, then he went to middle school, and he was great, and then he went to high school, and it's like, okay, he's in college, and he killing it. And it's just like, when he got to the pros, you like, that's when people look for you to slip and fall and not be focused, and he got better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was that.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's who I am. I came from the streets, You know what I'm saying? I figured a couple things out. I dodged a couple bullets. You know what I'm saying? I dodged a few other things. You know what I mean? And I got to the point where, you know, I started understanding music. And then when I got in it and started understanding that I can be good and people like what I do as well, because a lot of these that's in this game are really talented. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't never the talented guy in school, but nobody could out-hustle me, though, because I had drive and ambition and determination, so that was my gift. So when I learned that you can put that in music and it translate, that was my end. Right. It was thug motivation.
Does the dealer ever feel lost out here? And what I mean by that is, in this era, everybody celebrates the fiend. So I wonder, do they even want to hear from the dealer?
Good question. That's a lot, really, why I'm bringing, you know, the whole trilogy back, because when I grew up, we had real morals. Like these right now, they'll be standing beside you. Y'all go do some shit. They're going to tell on you tomorrow, be in the club later on, and you ain't going to do nothing because they're going to tell on you again. And, you know, that's just the way this generation is. So
why
it ain't
do you
nobody,
think that this generation is so different?
because they wasn't raised by their parents like that. They never had, their uncles, you know, wasn't there for them like that. You know, everybody was living their life. You talking 80s, 90s babies. These niggas don't even want no money.
They just want to kill you.
They just want to kill you.
Yeah.
they want a reputation. So it's like, when you look at it that, you already see what you're looking at. I came from an era where I didn't even smoke weed when I was in the street, because I had to be focused. I didn't want to knock my head off for me to go do no dumb, you know, a situation and get locked up in 10, 15 years, 20 years of life sentence, because I'm not thinking clearly. I'm not focused. So when I hear what they talking about these days, I go, damn. But that's where it makes me have to come back and be the big homie, because it's a door that I opened. All these kids are trying to be who I was 10, 15 years ago. You know, so I didn't hustle. I didn't get in the game to buy this shit. And look, this is who I am. If you go back and look at any picture of me 20 years ago, I'm Cartiered out, Rolexed up. You know, you ask anybody, that's who I really was. So I didn't have to change a lot. But I just think like now with the IG and the way they, you know, the perception of it, you can be, you know, real. Okay, you flex some money on IG that make it real. Is your kid straight? Is your mama good? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you got something put away? You got lawyer fee? Because a lot of niggas go out here and do all this shit, and they ain't got no money for lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, you know what I mean? Go do all this crazy shit. So I think now, if you really just sit back and look at it, how many wet, you know, pillars there are in the penitentiary for real, I think because they open up a door. And the reason why I reference a lot of things to Pac, and people don't understand, because that's where my morals, you know, that's the ceiling for my morals. That's the bar. You know, everything he talked about, I really lived that to get to where I was, and that was my Bible. When I got in a position, I was like, well, he would have, and that's what I'm going to do. So I think, you know, with
a lot of people look to you as that now.
That's what I'm saying. So now, it's that much important to me to tell, all right, cool, y'all getting y'all money, but this is the other side of the game. This is when you've been, you know, you far removed from the streets, and you've been out the streets 10, 15 years, and now you in this game. You got to know how to play this game the same way, because, you know, this game is a little tricky. It's actually even worse. But the reality of it is nobody to set that bar but me. So if I would have stayed on the other path, church in the streets, I would have left it wide open. Right. And then the next, like, what Pac, you think I'm bad? What's to the next? Yeah. Get it? He gonna tell you, man, I don't care about nothing. So I respect it in a sense, but I almost feel like I'm obligated, and that's my responsibility to come back and restore some real order. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are known for helping out a lot of the younger artists and taking them under your wing.
Right.
But sometimes it doesn't work out. What are the main reasons why you feel like certain artists that you saw had a lot of potential that you wanted to work with? What are some of the pitfalls that they've had that you feel like, if you're going to come under my wing, you need to make sure you handle your business?
You got to want it. You got to want this shit, man. Like, this, it's just because, you know, I've been around Hov a lot, that don't mean I'm going to have the same shit. I gotta want it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be a sponge. You don't have to tell me everything. I don't have to be around somebody and be like, okay, well, I'm rocking with you now, so I'm good. It's like, no, you gotta work even harder. I can put you on the stage and set the stage for you, but you gotta perform your heart out to make these people believe you. Because just because they're my fans don't mean they're gonna buy your shit. You know what I mean? If they don't buy into you. And I just think, you know, a lot of times when you're dealing with these cats, you know, they want to shine, but they don't want to grind. Like, they don't want to get. I work, nigga. If I tell you what my week was like, you know what I'm saying, now, even at this point in my career, you know what I'm saying, that's all I do. I grind, and I'm disciplined enough to have discipline. So while you out chasing broads and doing all that shit, I'm working. While you out fucking up your money, I'm stacking. You know what I'm saying? While you out and you doing bullshit, I'm making business moves that you probably won't hear about, you know what I'm saying, until 2020. You know what I'm saying? And while, you know, you out and you in the club, I'm in the studio and I'm still writing records. And I'm still putting things together, and I'm strategically putting my plans together, and that's at this point in my career. You feel what I'm saying? So every day to me is about progress and investing in myself and making sure that I'm the best that I can be. And that's what I tell cats. Sometimes they don't understand. If I'm not the best that I could be, I can't help you.
So why do you think, on the flip side of her question, why do you think somebody like YG did work?
Because he wanted it.
All right.
I told my man folk that yesterday. I went to a show last night. I was like, he's getting better. He's getting better. He understands it. He knows what YG is now. And this is somebody that I had to sit down and move to Atlanta and really talk him through shit and fix things with him and Mustard didn't understand what's going on. Like, yo, my man, like, I already been through this shit with Shawty Red. Like, don't f up the money. Like, it ain't about y'all, it's about the fans. You know what I'm saying? You can't do an album and not have Mustard on the album. It's crazy. And even when I saw, you know, the Mustard play with YG, I was like, this is it. You got everything. I just need to get you away from where you at so we can focus on making this album.
Right.
And then even when he came to me, he was like, yo, I want to call my album Bumped. And I was like, my man, like, that ain't it. How can we get people to relate to who you are? You're a young gangster. What's the day in the life of a young gangster like? When this album come on and you start off how your day starts, and when it goes off, that's how your day ends. So that's why you hear his mama on there. That's why you hear, you know, I just want to party. I don't want to hurt nobody. To him breaking the houses. And one thing I can say about YG, and I do really mean this, is you can tell him anything. He takes his time. He thinks about it. And then he come back and be like, yeah, you was right, but I'm going to do it this way. So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to take, I'm not going to be right all the time. I'm just going to give you whatever knowledge and wisdom I got. If you come back and you tell me that this is how you want to rock, then I'm going to see to it that we can get you the best results. But at least you thinking and you planning. And that's what I learned even by being in the streets and being around older cats. They can tell you everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to take the information that they give you and make it work for you. And he made it work for him. And whoever thought that a nigga from Georgia would put a cat all the way from the West Coast on. And he said some shit last night at the show, and I was just like, in my mind, I was like, wow. He was like, he the only from the West that made it without Dre. Yeah, young though. You feel what I'm saying? What that tell you?
Do you purposely like not stand by him, like artist, CEO type thing? Like,
nah, because you know YG was always his own boss, man. I met YG and I met YG backstage at a Snoop Wiz Khalifa concert, and I just liked him. And I called Def Jam. I was like, y'all got this kid over there. It's like, what y'all doing with him? He's like, he got the Toot and the Booty record. We want more songs like that. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's who he is. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think he's something else. So I would go out to his shows. Now imagine me, you know, and I'm LA, you know, everybody all at the big, you know, pretty shows at the Staples Center. I'm in the hood with YG watching him perform. And I'm looking like, dang, he got Bloods, Crips, essays, all this shit. How's he keeping this shit together? And they know every word. So I'm like, well, this is who he is. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about, you know, Eazy-E and Compton, you know, that's what really what YG embodies. Like, he's what a LA cat who's LA'd out looks like. He acts like what the new generation of LA is. And I was just like, that's what y'all need to focus on and not the Tooted and Booty, because that can't be him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who that guy is. And it just worked, man. We got it, and just I was telling my man today, I was like, yo, even though I worked with him on that whole album, and we recorded it in the same studio I recorded Thug Motivation in, like I never think, and I've been to a few of his shows, I don't, like last night I just felt something like different. I was like, man, it's crazy to just see him do those records, because like he got it now. You know what I'm saying? These are the same records we wrote together. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I think in his bag.
What was your relationship? What was your relationship like with Bankroll Fresh? I see you got him on the all their record.
Bankroll. Which is just how it goes. So D Rich, which is Shorty Red's protege, is a good friend of mine and like my little brother, and he was Bankroll's producer, and that's how the connection with Bankroll was. And he introduced me to Bankroll, and you know they would just stop through the studio. You know, I'm the big homie. They come through, they ask me questions and shit. You know, we might do a couple records, and I'm like a couple of last conversations we had to answer your question was, he came through and I was telling him how crazy I thought the Life of a Hot Boy mixtape was, and how that whole concept was. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you a hot boy. Like, you an Atlanta hot boy, though. And I was like, yo, you need to do a part 2. And he was like, nah, I really don't want to, you know, I don't want people to feel like I'm biting off. I was like, nah, just do you. It's already you. And he ended up doing the Life of a Hot Boy 2. And I was just telling D Rich, like, yo, this is crazy. And I remember sitting there having a conversation with him, like, yo, you should go get Wayne and Juvie and all them on the Hot Boy song. He's like, I don't think they'll do it. I was like, man, you think Wayne don't want to do a record with you? Like, you think they won't want to be on this? And so we went behind the scenes and reached out and everybody got everybody together and we ended up getting, Wayne, I think it was Juvie and somebody else was on the song. And that was crazy. So I just saw his buzz, Turk, and I just saw his buzz starting to really build, and I just started to see what it really was. He was an Atlanta cat. Everybody knew that, it wasn't really about, him having a lot of money. He was just a real dude. He's like everybody's little brother. And maybe like a week before he passed, he called me, and we was in Charlotte for that basketball festival.
CIAA.
Yeah, and he was like, and I saw you down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was the day after I saw you.
Okay.
Yeah, and we was in the club, and I was just watching him move, and I'm just like, I said, yo, man, when you get back to Atlanta, we should all talk. So he was like, cool, whatever.
You wanted to sign him?
I wanted to at least get in it so I can at least mentor the situation because I saw where it was going.
Right.
And I doubt he would have signed anybody because he was, he was his own guy. He had his own label and all that, but I just wanted to help. But to answer your question, that was a Sunday. I think he might have died like that Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And I remember sending Tech, who was his manager at the time, a text like, yo, I just talked to Fresh. When he get back, we really need to talk. Because my concern was how he was moving. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, my nigga, you see me, I'm with, 6 of my guys, but these have been my guys forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's different. Like, you know what I mean? But you got 100 with you. Like, there's no way you can, even when I rode, even when I rode like that, we was all getting money and, this was all from a neighborhood, and it was just a different thing because it was a different time. And
yeah, it's hard to hear that from somebody who was affiliated with BMF.
Right.
I was 500 deep.
Right.
All the time.
But by the way, it was a lot of boss shit going on. So it was a lot of bosses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From different cities and, a lot of real mob, like, mind state. But now you talking about him running around with 100 young niggas. And he getting money. He's starting to blow up. It's like, how do you... And that was my concern. So I was like, yo, man, I really just think that, because you got to understand, like, sometimes you can play that game, but that's like the other side of it. Like, meaning, like, you have to be very smart to play that game because that can turn from 100 friends to 100 enemies overnight.
Instantly, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because you might make some changes that everybody don't like. And that was my concern with Tech. And I never forget, I was hanging out, and I got a call, and I was like, yo, Fresh just got hit. I'm like, what? Got here. And my phone started blowing up. I'm just like, yo. So I called my man. I was like, what's going on? I think I called Rich. He was like, yeah, man. I'm just like, what? I'm like, where the f is he at? He's at the studio. Ooh. I said, well, f all that. Who was with him? I just seen him with 100 people. He the only one that got hit? And he was like, yeah. I was just like, yo, man, you mean tell me all them up there at that studio, everybody there, and he the only one get hit, and he the only one gone. Crazy. Now, what I didn't have respect for is this is y'all guy. We figuring out how to pass him the torch. This is y'all new leader. We're going to give him the game. For me, Tip, everybody, we're going to give him what he needs to lead y'all. How y'all going to take y'all guy out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, that just lets you know what type of, times we in. Same shit happened with Dobie. That's crazy. Yeah. You on stage trying to live your dream.
It's own city, own
and
town.
And it be them ones that close to you to hate. So that was my thing. When I came in a different era. The rules and the morals were different. It was so far you can go with that shit before one of the big homies would sit you down and be like, yo, you're not even finna go there with him. He with us. They ain't got nobody like that.
Yeah.
You know
respect the one that can change the hood.
Right. And it's like, it's like that was their new guy. That was the guy that was gonna get the torch. That was the guy that was, and by the way, when he passed, I really understood what he was. Like the love that kid got, and even going over there shooting that video, and I made it a point. I told D. Rich, I don't want a bunch of people from the town in the video. Call his mama, call his grandmama, call his son, call his nephew, call his stepdad. Let's make this a family affair. I'm just gonna pull up. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna celebrate him, and that's that. You know what I mean? So if you look in the video, that's his son, that's his nephew. You know what I'm saying? That's his mother. I'm sitting on his mother's porch. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the same neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That he grew up in, just to show that love. Those cats that are in the video, those are his artists, Lil Bucci and Quick Trip. And those guys, those are his guys. I wanted them to be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a celebration. And it was crazy, like, to shed some light on the story, like, get it off the sad part. I remember I was out there and the mural, you know, they had the police out there for, you know, the city. I guess that's how they work over there on that side. You can't go out there and do nothing unless the police out there. Really, it's for them to get money because they ain't do shit. But anyway, I'm like, hey, I want to get up here and shoot on the mural, and they're like, nah, you can't get up there because somebody owns that property. I said, well, look, I did a charity work over here, and I picked up trash in this same neighborhood. As a matter of fact, this building. She said, well, sir, you can't get up there on there and get a shot in the mural because that's somebody else's property. I said, do you want me to call the mayor and get him out of this bed at 12 o'clock on a Sunday evening? Everybody listening to the conversation. Right. You know, everybody's like, like, why they tripping? They don't want to let Young get up there. Now, keep in mind, everybody that goes over there and shoot videos on that mural, just do it anyway without no consent. So, she kind of tried to, flex her muscles. So I flexed mine. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on. Yo, check this out. Put on the phone with the mayor. So everybody in the hood like, oh my God. Oh, this is too real. And like, hey, no, we're going to shoot right here. He's like, hey, man, this Jeezy, whatever he wants to do over there. Come on, y'all, chill out. And it was just a good time, man, just going there with his family. And even for D-Rich and for Quick Trip and all. Those just guys, man. That was their hope. And just because he's not here, I'm not going to not help them with his hope because, that's what a real big homie would do.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Bankroll Fresh.
Yeah, speaking of the big homies and how you came up, the BMF series is coming out. Have they hit you up? Are you involved in any way?
Well, I spoke with 50. Like I said, man, I just respect the fact that, that my man's, finally getting some light on what he really wanted. And and look, man, you got to respect, 50's lane right now. That's his lane. You know what I'm saying? He understands it. He's good at it. He's proven it. So I think it's a perfect match. As far as me being, I don't know if it's past them.
Do you want to be I don't
know. I'm sleeping good these days, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I wake up like, hey, what we doing today? You know what I mean? Man, it took me a while to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
You're not gonna offer no consultation, though, like.
No, I'm down. I mean, I would love to put music in it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I would love to get some insight.
I'm sure there's gonna be a Jeezy type of character.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's a whole story. Like you do realize that BMF was created way long before I was involved. You know what I mean? So I'm quite sure they're gonna start with the whole Detroit era and all the stuff they had going on there and just work their way up. You know what I'm saying? So
do you miss that time period?
Yeah.
Music, the clubs.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I went out the other day. I was just like, it just ain't the same, man. And when you walked in, like back then, they just treated you with so much respect. It was like a family.
I think it was real money back then as opposed to now.
Yeah,
I never experienced it.
I was watching that BMF. I watched that BMF doc a lot. Like every other month I watch it.
By the way, you're right. That a lot of money would make a lady treat you like your family.
Yeah.
Hey, how you been, baby? What's up, big head? What's going on? You know what I mean?
I never experienced any of that, but I read the book and I seen the documentary. I'm like,
you never experienced what?
Like just how the
She
clubs
never been
were.
around during that time.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Oh, you should have been there.
Yo,
they
you
effed
should
up
have
the
That's
shit.
when Atlanta was Atlanta.
Right.
It wasn't New York too. They did everywhere.
Yeah, we did. I remember we came and did the Atlanta versus New York at Sue's Rendezvous.
Sue's Rendezvous.
Yeah, that shit was
won?
crazy. Oh, what do you mean? Who brought the most money? That's who won.
I hear you talk about Shorty Red. So is Shorty Red gonna be on the?
Yeah, Trapper Dot 3. He's definitely on. He got a couple joints on. It was a collective, man. That was my whole thing. Just like putting the gang back together, man, and really just cause like I'm one of them cats. Like I don't like to follow trends or ride waves. I like to create, and people don't know. Like we started creating, this music and this sound that y'all love in a basement. We didn't even have a studio, and the first album did 2 million. You know what I'm saying? And it just like with this, it was like I wanted to create. I didn't want to go get beats from from you know what I'm saying, whoever's hot. That's like, come on, man, like it's me, and just this whole thing, and it's just like. Man, everybody in their bag, from Shorty Red to D-Rich to, everybody that really produced. And it was like, it's collectively, I know you hear this all the time, but collectively for me, one of my best bodies of work. And you already know I wasn't finna touch that Trapper Dot right. Cause I didn't want to be,
There's a lot to live up to.
Where'd y'all fall out at? Because I always wonder about like T.I. and Toon, and Shorty Red. Like what was it ego? Or?
Yeah.
Money.
I mean, what I really thought, what I really think it was is fame came fast. You know what I'm saying? Really fast. And I got busy. And everybody just didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was You know, it was like I was out of town. I was always gone. You know, you don't see me until you see me on TV, and you know, it was just like it was fast. But you know, that was my dream to get up out of my situation and do this. So it's kind of hard, you know, when you're that attached to a producer. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to be a part of that. And had I known that's how it would have been, you know, I didn't know about bringing studio buses on the road and still working. And I was just trying to get the fuck out of Atlanta before I went to jail or something. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, 2020 hindsight, you know, the people I deal with, that's why I just, you know, keep a real connection with them, because that's what makes the music so great. We go hard for each other. Me and D-Rich talk every day about anything, but, you know, it's really for real. And that's what makes the music great, because we always, we gonna get plies on this, and we gonna get, you know what I mean? Even with the features, it's like I didn't want to go just out and reach for somebody who I felt like just had a buzz. He might not have a buzz in, you know, 6, 7, 8 months. But these cats that I got love for, like Wayne, I know Wayne gonna give me a verse. You know what I'm saying? I know Plies gonna give me a Lose My Mind verse. You know what I mean? I know, you know, French, you know, he is the club in New York as far as I'm concerned. Like, he's the party guy. You know what I mean? And I wanted that. You know what I mean? And Yo Gotti, he talked that shit like I talk it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, this is like, because that's what Trap or Die was. Like, the people that I knew, those are the people that I tapped for my features.
There was no Jay on the album this time, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, it still could and might happen somewhere along the line. Okay. But, you know, I think even when I played it for him, though, he was just like, you good? What I'm going to do? Like, you straight. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you need me, I'm there. But, you know, it's just one of them things where I feel like it can't get no better. And I ain't even saying that. Like, you know, I could, if you told me to take a song off the track list, that's like picking kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want. You know I, mean?
I saw your Billboard interview. You was paying your respects to Shorty Low.
Right? Yeah, man. Crazy, bro. You know, look, man. You know, I knew Shorty Low from just back in the day in the street. We met through one of his big homies named Danny Boy from the West Side. But I don't think a lot of people knew that, you know, how important he was to the city and how he was a staple in the community, because he was the West Side dude that really wasn't scared. And people don't even realize, like, he really brought snap music to the world with Fabo and all them and all that. You know, that was him. That was their side of town. That was their thing. You know, one of the best records I ever been on, you know, had something to do with him.
They know.
They know. Yeah, 2-0 and
Geeked Up.
Yeah,
and
Geeked Up.
Know.
Geeked Up. One of my favorite joints, and that came from Day Camp and what he was doing. And you know, I watched him over the years, and I seen him grow up. You know what I'm saying? From just being a street cat, and I just seen how he treated his kids and how he treated people around. And it just be sad to see, you know, your homeboy. That's why I only had no problem telling. You know how I used to be. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But I don't know problem telling that I feel like, man, I love you, man. Be safe. I see, because you never know. Right. You know what I'm saying? People are falling off every day. But one thing I do love, you know, same thing with him, Fresh and Dobie and all them, is just like, you know, you can take us out, but you can't take our music away. You can't take, you know, that's our lifeline. That's gonna live forever. And I was somewhere and they was playing one of his songs, Foolish, and I was like, boy, that was hard. What? You know what I mean? And the same thing with Dobie and Beyonce just came for the Formation tour in Atlanta, and just to see her even paying tribute, you know,
that's dope.
Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you hate when people got to get their flowers after they gone?
Oh, yeah. No, I told somebody that the other day, it'd be bad, boy. You got to goddamn get knocked off around here for show you they love you. Need to see you right now today, man.
It's so easy to forget that.
Yeah, I don't with me, the real nigga too. You dog, man. The real
nigga alive.
Why they take my dog, man? You know what I mean?
Now, Shorty Low funeral was lit, right?
Right.
Does it make you think about how you want to go out?
Man,
I mean, that's not something you want to think about, but you know, it's all gonna happen to all of us.
But no, you're right though, cause I do think about that, and you know, even going forward, like I always look at things for real, even the people I deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cause I learned that when I was locked up. You know what I mean? I didn't see a lot of people running to help me, but I always help everybody else. But now when I'm dealing with people and I'm talking to them, I only give them just a little bit of me. You know what I'm saying? I might have a few words, but I ain't gonna give them who I really am, unless I feel like you somebody that's gonna really go out of your way to carry the torch for my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I'm doing this. I'm gonna do this so I can't no more, but when it's all said and done, you know what I mean? You know, like, you saw what happened when Big died? You saw what the fuck happened in Brooklyn? Like,
party.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Yeah.
it was real. Like, and it's just like, because you have somebody like Puff and Kim and all these people that's really gonna carry his legacy, because they knew what he meant, and in faith and all, and that. So like, even with me now, it's like, I'm very particular to people I let around because it's like, I don't want you just to be around because it's fun now. Because if it ain't, are you gonna be the one, champion me and holding that torch? But by the way, just so you know, if when it needs to be lit in Atlanta, I'm just letting y'all know right now.
What strip club you want to go by?
No, listen, I'm gonna get them all. We're bringing Freaknik back, all that. It's back-to-back traffic. Bring your Benzes and your Lambos and your Ferraris out. We're gonna celebrate, baby. You know what I mean? Everybody throwing money, and we're gonna have a good time. And that's how I feel because that's what I feel like I brought to the world, like hope, change. And it's just like I was telling somebody this, man, and it's sad to say, when Muhammad Ali died, I went and visited his house, and the house he was raised in, and I get there and there's this white guy in there.
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
Okay.
White guy in there, and he's charging people for
tours,
for T-shirts and tours, and no, I would never disrespect the family, but it just made me think like, was it set up for legacy? Because he was an amazing person. It's the same thing when you think about Martin Luther King, and you think about that center they got over there and how much stress it must be on his daughter to keep water in that pool for the kids to swim in. It's like it has to be set up for legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like, us as, black men and entrepreneurs, we got to think, after the fact and after we're gone to keep this thing going because you can't leave your kids with this stress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't leave your kids with this burden. And this is like, because you are great. But when you're gone, you're gone. You know what I'm saying?
It sounded to me like you might need to bury me a G Part 2 because I don't think you want to get buried in no Evisu G.
No. Not no ball mains either. Not no ball mains either, man. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to talk about some of the things that you invested. You invested in early, whether it was liquor,
right,
whether it was a clothing line that did better internationally, did it actually did here, right?
Right.
Now, what's some of the things that you passed up that you wish that you didn't pass up?
Oh man, wow, that's a good one. It's a couple things, a lot of properties. Like now, I probably got half Atlanta, you know what I mean? But it was probably situations that I felt like, just nothing in particular. But then when I heard how long it takes to make the money back, that kind of scared me. You started talking like 10 years. I'm like, I don't even know if I got 10 years. I need my money now.
What made you buy so much real estate? They say you own like a lot of downtown apartments, condos, houses.
I mean, just for my kids, for my daughter. Just got my daughter just one of the flyest clubs. Restaurants in Atlanta. They just opened up in Buckhead, but it's just like.
How old's your daughter?
She's 2.
You don't remember when he had his daughter?
Right,
saw the pictures on Instagram.
And she 2 and own a restaurant. Maybe I'm lost here. Now.
No, because that's something that she's.
Will always have.
She always has. She's going to pay it for the next.
And it feels tangible. I think real estate just feels tangible. Like you can see it. You can make money from it.
Right.
Well, what it is
right
I used to be a hustler. I hustled other things. And it's like, it's the same thing. If I spent $100,000 for that cup, $500,000 for that cup, it's tangible. I have $500,000 in that cup. You know what I'm saying? It's a big bank account, really. And if I ever need the money, or by the way, it's going to go up at some point if you buy it in the right place, and that's money for later on. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really, you wouldn't even know that about me because I don't kick it like that.
I watch it.
So that'd be that'd be me feeling like I'm still hiding money under my mattress type shit. That'd be my head. Go ahead and buy that. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna tell nobody about it. But you
get tax breaks on when you own real estate.
And by the way, it makes for a better conversation when you're sitting around these billionaires and all these big business people. It's like, hey, I heard you just bought this spot in Buckhead, and I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do with it? Would you like to sell it? Nah, I'm cool. I'm just hold out. But it makes people just talk to you different, and it's just like we all own cars and jewelry and stuff like that, but it got to be something this tangible. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that to me it's another way of hustling, and it actually keeps me excited.
Right. Farrakhan said the most valuable thing a black man can own in America is land.
Right. And he wasn't lying.
And plus it's good for your karma too, because it's kind of like you're cleaning up the blocks you polluted all those years.
Hey man, it's all good, man. I told you, it's like
allegedly,
But then it makes you, even for when you deal with city officials and politicians, it's a real conversation now. You can't talk to me like I'm a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what's up?
And it makes you really concerned about the community because now a lot of things matter to you because you have these properties. So you want to get involved locally in the government and what's going on.
But, I like sitting down with the politicians, these business guys, because they know all the before it's about to drop. Like, you know they're about to build a building. I'm like, what? They about to build a building over there too? For my realtor. Listen, man, we need 4 blocks over there ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you said something early in the interview. You said Barack kind of left you out there. What do you mean by that?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
When he was in jail.
No, not then. When he called and invited me to a dinner in New York. And I got
remember
you don't remember when he
they wouldn't
let him go.
Oh yeah, because I was tripping. I was like, damn, Barack shouted him out at the White House correspondent.
No, that was after the fact.
Oh, that was after?
Yeah, that was after.
Oh, I can't let you in, but I'm gonna give you a shot.
Right. That was after a few interviews. They're like, so what you think about Barack? Man, I don't know. He ain't real with me. That was that. And I know he probably said about like, oh, he finna go left at any minute. So that was just like, the courtesy comment. Cause look, man, if you did groundwork for somebody and you see them win, you just want to celebrate with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm happy for you, bro. Like, I don't want to do you any harm, and I go to bat for them all the time, like real conversations with people. Like even I might be, on a jet with a white guy, he trying to tell me, I'm like, yo, man, you don't know Barack Obama. How could you say that? You know what I mean? How do you know I don't know about Obamacare. I'm not in all that. I just know that right now America feels like a better and a safer place for me and mine. You know what I mean? So it's just like, those are real conversations, but I'm Jeezy. It's like, what I say, people follow, at least where I'm from. You know what I mean? So it's just like, me out there with the word of mouth, that's just like you and you tell me, man, you heard Jeezy new shit? It's crazy. Really? You saying that. You know what I'm saying? You saying that. So it's like, it's worth something. So I just think for me, you know what I'm saying, it's just like, I really went to bat for that because I really felt like he was that dude, and I still do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's real, I think, when you got people out there that's really spreading word of mouth for you.
Has Hillary reached out?
Absolutely.
My president's a female. The Lambo's blue now.
She reached
Man,
out
Hillary doing
times.
giveaway with Pusha T. You can go meet Pusha T.
Right.
I'm like, I know Jeezy good.
I know who's behind that. We all know where that's coming from. It's money, baby. Hey.
What up, KC?
Oh, yeah, right.
The album comes out.
Look, I was there too. Listen, I just want to ask you, how has having a daughter affected you?
Uh-oh. I'm gonna keep it real. I really don't even like to talk about my. That's my everything.
Mm-hmm. But how has it affected you? Like as far as your life, your music?
Everything. I mean, you can tell with me. I'm just not for the for the foolery no more. And I refuse to be tricked off the streets or out of my position. Like I got somebody that really depends on me and is really gonna need me. This world is a dangerous place.
I want to see Jeezy do a pookie poo to his daughter, my little pookie poo. I can't see that.
Nah,
I can't
I
see
ain't
the
doing
snowman
that.
Nah.
I can't do
You
that.
gotta go dress up like a snowman at the birthday.
Well, her though, I'm just, I'm daddy, man. Like, everybody said, I might be on the phone with somebody, and I'm like, yo, this motherfucker said, if you, what you say, baby? Oh, okay, I got it. Don't worry, I get that in 2 minutes. Oh yeah, you want to just talk crazy to be her, but your daughter say something. You know what I'm saying?
The album comes out October 28th.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a dinner?
You can pre-order right now.
We need another dinner.
Def Jam in the building. No, we having a dinner. We have it offline. What do you mean? We need that confirmation now, baby.
Can I play one of these songs?
Absolutely.
Play a few.
Which one?
Let's do a Jeezy mix this morning. Do a Jeezy mix.
Hold on. I got a couple that's on the album. Can I play a snippet of both?
Okay.
Let's play a snippet of.
Let's go going crazy with French Montana. South side of my man French, man. That's a real guy right there, man.
All right.
It's good when Jeezy drops the album. You see the evolution because you came a long way. Because I look at that documentary. You see that map with all the faces? You right up there. God damn, boy, Jeezy escaped from it.
Yo, Jay-Z told me that one day. He watched the documentary on, what's his name? We was sitting back in Maybach. He was like, boy, you real lucky.
You blessed, man, for real.
And you should have said you real lucky too.
Right, yeah, right. I was like, man. But, yeah, you right, though. But let's get into that new man. Trap or Die 3 in stores, on the streets, online, October 28th, man. Y'all know what it is. Let's get it.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Pre-order right now. Here, pre-order that. Yeah.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.